The Briterion Bollection is back. I'm your host, Kevin. This is my sister, Denyse.
Hello.
So this is Denise's first time on the movie podcast. We did a side podcast before, right?
Yeah, we did. We just talked really about our kind of history, I guess.
Growing up in the 90s, ditching school.
Yeah.
That was fun, right?
Yeah, it was fun. Actually, it was pretty memorable. I feel like we got closer during that time because we just had each other, really.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's something. If you want to listen to that, you can check out
Brett. Sorry, we don't.
Briterion, Brett, etc. You can hear all about us growing up in the 90s, getting into other shenanigans, right? But today she's on the movie podcast, and this is a movie I wanted to talk about earlier in the year, but it just got sidetracked, and life happens. People get busy. You're busy.
That's been a big thing.
Yeah,
that's making it hard to collaborate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you've been busy. I've been busy. The world's been busy.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
The world's been really busy.
Say the least. Yeah, so I was planning on doing this movie for Women's History Month because it's a female director, but didn't get around to it, and it was going to be like the triptych of this Beatles female trilogy, somewhat, because we did Nowhere Boy, which is John Lennon, like the story of John Lennon growing up in Liverpool, and that's directed by Sam Taylor Wood, and she's a female. And then me and Aileen did I Am Sam, which has a Beatles theme. That's also directed by a woman. And so this was going to be like the third in the triptych.
I Am Sam, that has Sean Penn in it, right?
Yeah, Sean Penn. Yeah.
Well, ironically, driving over here, I heard that Sean Penn has a movie out that is getting like rave reviews.
Yeah.
And it was filmed in San Diego.
Yeah, I heard about that.
It was like, but it's like pretty, it must be like amazing.
Yeah, well, DiCaprio is praising it
like 3 times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't get enough of it. So I'm like very interested now about it.
Yeah, no, I do want to see it. I mean, even though Leonardo plays some white trash looking dude in it, it's kind of weird, but yeah, no, I've been hearing it has great reviews too. One Battle After Another.
Yeah.
And it has it's directed by Paul Thomas Anderson.
Oh, so okay.
That's why it's getting.
I only know him as Maya Rudolph's
husband.
Well, I don't think they're married.
Baby daddy.
Lover. Yeah, I don't know, but that's the only way I know him.
Thanks for saying that. Okay. Anyway, so the movie we're talking about today is the much maligned musical Across the Universe, the Beatles musical, directed by Julie Taymor, and I really like this movie. I know a lot of people hate it, but I've always liked it.
When I first saw it, when it first came out, I really loved it. I really loved the music. I loved the story. I loved Evan Rachel Wood. I thought she was great in it. Yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was nicely done. Although a lot of it was kind of cryptic. I couldn't understand some of what was happening in some of it. In a sense, like, is it okay for me to?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so like, let's say when Prudence shows up on the scene, and so what I got out of her
lesbian
is the whole thing. Okay, well, she's a cheerleader, so not really, you're thinking that, oh, she's in love with one of the football stars.
Yeah, they do that on purpose, right?
Right, and it ends up being one of the other cheerleaders. But the fact that, I think it's really to introduce her, but just why was that there? Why was that in the story? You don't
mean why was the lesbianism in there, or just
just why in that part of it?
Why was she brought in? At that point.
Yeah, do you get what I mean?
I think they just wanted to have like a diverse cast of characters and like to fit the names of the Beatles songs, you know, because Dear Prudence, obviously.
Yeah.
So that's why everyone, Jude, Lucy, everybody has Beatles song names.
It was just true. It wasn't really You don't see Sadie isn't introduced until
later on.
you
Yeah,
she's you get what I mean.
Yeah.
It's not like they're like their individual.
Yeah.
Those were like Lucy, Jude, and Prudence were
like there was a connection.
Yeah,
kind of,
but it was just like it's kind of like okay.
Yeah, no, I mean that's a valid criticism, but I think they figured that would be the best point to introduce her because you already saw this like Midwestern theme with Evan Rachel Wood, so it's like let's throw in this other high school chick who's like an outcast, kind of. You know what I mean? I think that's what they're trying to do. But anyways, yeah. So now I'm a huge Beatles fan.
Right.
The
hugest.
Yeah, I'm a pretty big Beatles fan. So that's the thing. The timing of this is way off, but in a way, it is kind of good timing. Like it does fit in my own life in a way because me and my dad and my wife we're gonna see Paul McCartney soon.
Mm-hmm.
So in a way, it is kind of a nice moment.
Doing like a full circle.
Yeah, so it does tie in somewhat into my life, at least doing it now. So. And speaking of my wife, she kind of hates this movie.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she hasn't even really fully seen it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I think I tried showing it to her and she just wasn't into it. So I think Tom's running around.
It hurts my growling.
Well, he does that sometimes.
Oh.
Like when he gets the zoomies, he runs around.
Oh.
Yeah, they run around like.
I love the zoomies.
When they get that, you mean it's just like that word? Or
I like the word, and I wish I got the zoomies. Well, sometimes I get the zoomies.
Okay. Meaning what? You just want to run around?
My husband gets the zoomies.
Right. I'm sure.
Shout out to Willis.
Yeah. Is he working right now? Or?
No, he's not. But he was.
He's chilling.
Yeah, he's chilling, watching baseball.
Hi, Willow. Watching the Padres games. Anyways, so in a way, because people hate this movie so much, it makes me kind of love it even more. Like it makes me ride for it because it doesn't really get very good reviews across the board.
Really,
the people who do like it love it, but most.
Yeah, one of the women I work with, when I was like, "Oh, what's your favorite movie?" This was like years ago, and I asked, and she said that was her favorite movie. Was this Across the Universe? Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Where like mine is Almost Famous.
Yeah,
that's my favorite movie.
Maybe we can talk about that sometime. I heard Cameron Crowe, he's doing like some road show where I guess he's putting out a book, so he's doing like a thing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Talking with people, talking with fans. So this movie came out in 2007. And at that point, I was working at Target, which I've mentioned before. I've mentioned me and Byron worked at Target together. That's how we met. I remember it was like my first year working there. It came out summer 2007. I started working there earlier that year. And I went alone. I went to see it alone in the theater because I had no one else to watch it with. And I liked it. I thought it was cool. And seeing it on the big screen, it gives it justice. It adds more to the spectacle of it. And I think it kind of tied in nicely with the Cirque du Soleil show at the time, because the Cirque du Soleil just came out like the year before that. So it was kind of nice. It was like a nice companion piece, having the Cirque du Soleil love show and this. And I love the Cirque du Soleil show. Did you ever see it?
I have not.
Well, they shut it down actually. So
I guess I'll never see it.
Yeah, you'll never see it. I got to see it twice or three times, and I really
like to see that. Yeah. I watch a lot of Cirque du Soleil shows, but I did not see that one.
Yeah, no, I loved it. And to me, this, like, when they do Beatles things right, they put a lot of little Easter eggs that for fans, like fans will get it. The average layman is not going to know what it is, but the fans who like, okay, that's like they're referencing this, they're referencing that.
Thing that I think is really amazing is when you look at the anthology of what the Beatles, like their music, it's really amazing.
Yeah.
When you were talking about like the hits, like they just keep coming with the hits, and changing the style, and it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Considering they were together less than 10 years.
Yeah.
And they're able to crank out all these great songs.
Yeah. And as far as like their writing, so prolific. Right. But I'll be honest, like my favorite singer from the Beatles really was always George Harrison. I always felt that George Harrison, I loved his music. I thought, to be honest, out of the four of them, he had the best, the best piece. And I didn't see a lot of that in this movie, to be honest.
You didn't see a lot of George, you mean, or his songs, or what?
I did not see a lot of.
I mean, it had a few of his songs. I mean, I'm sure "Here Comes the Sun" isn't in it, right? Isn't it?
No.
I thought it was.
In fact, I would assume that it would not be in that because it's way just too commercialized and played out.
Well, now it is. That's the thing. So it's funny that you say you're in the George camp because yeah, there are always like a few diehard, like, you know, people who want to be different who like George.
Well, no, the people that are different are the ones that like Ringo. That's what I find different. I mean, like Paul McCartney. Not to say that Ringo didn't do anything. I mean, he's part of the band.
Yeah, but the fact that he didn't write songs like they did, he wrote only like one or two of them.
Yeah, I mean that's I mean it's just
Ringo gets
like an orange comparing an orange
apples to oranges.
Yeah, mango.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Now in the Spotify era, George's songs are the biggest. Like "Here Comes the Sun" is the biggest Beatles, which kind of annoys me,
Well, sorry to say, but when Skylar gets married or turns 18, or I'm gonna play that with this whole montage. Get ready.
Okay.
So just
I'll be on Skylar montage. Mm-hmm. I can see it now.
Yeah.
Like play video.
Oh yeah. I'm sure she'll be 16 and she'll hate it, but it'll be really cool.
Yeah. She's looking at you with disdain. See, I'm a John guy.
I know you are. I know.
Yeah, I'm a big John guy. I mean, I love them all, but he's my favorite. He's the one who started the group. He's just the man. He's the leader, really. Even though him and Paul are kind of neck and neck as far as leaders, but it's like John is really the leader of it. Where he went, the group went, I would say. But it was really just their amalgamation and just the magic that they all did together. Yeah. And Ringo gets a lot of crap, but Ringo is brilliant. And he's even said in interviews, he was like, well, like people, like he's even said, oh, people diss me, like I didn't do anything in the group.
Well, he was a drummer.
But he was like, but before I joined, like they didn't get any hits. Like they released a few stuff and it wasn't going anywhere. But then when I finally joined, then they started getting hits. So he's like, he's got you there in that sense. Yeah, so this movie came out in 2007. I was even I was asking, there was this girl who I worked with at Target. I know she liked the Beatles. I was like, oh, did you watch Across the Universe? And she was like, yeah. She's like, that was horrible. I was like, that was not good. I was like, wow. Okay. So, yeah, it's kind of become a cult classic over time for like the Beatles diehards, who love it. And then, some randos who kind of discovered it over time. Yeah, they kind of like it. But yeah, so let's get into the nuts and bolts of the movie. And also, I saw this in the theater and there was like 3 other people there. So it didn't do that well, really. Wow. So the movie starts and you're not really sure what to make of it. Like when I saw it, I wasn't really sure what to make of it. Like it was just like the acting was kind of cheesy and some of the song interpretations that they do, like I didn't love really, but kind of as the movie keeps going, you get more emotionally invested in it, I would say. And so I'll go through those little things. And the film received very mixed reviews from critics, with many praising the visuals, cast, and singing performances, though criticizing the plot and direction. The film was a major box office bomb, failing to earn even half of its total production budget at the box office. It's pretty bad.
But all the actors did actually sing.
Yeah, that I love. It's not some, Mickey Mousing it.
Right. Bono made his appearance.
Yeah, exactly. Has some weird cameos. So the director Julie Taymor, I think she's really good. I think she's really talented. Like she's the one who did Lion King for Broadway. So the Lion King show everybody loves with all the puppets and stuff. She did that. She's the one who created that and directed that initial production. And then from then she did this movie Titus with Anthony Hopkins, which I've seen some of that. She did Frida with Salma Hayek. And some people love that movie. It's like you kind of either love or hate that movie. Did you ever see it?
I did not watch it.
Oh, okay. It's all right. I mean, I like her style. I like how she brings the theater techniques to cinema. I personally, I like that. Like that's it makes it kind of like Godarish, or like even like Francis Ford Coppola likes to do that a lot. He likes to use like theater techniques. Bergman likes to do that a lot. So like, and what I mean by that is like they kind of try to show you, like they want you to see the, like they want it to look fake. Like that's the point of it. Like they want things to look wooden or plasticky. That way you're kind of aware that like somebody puts this together. You know, it's not like so seamless. Like I actually like seeing that. Some people don't, and they're kind of like they don't get that. You know, they just see, oh, this looks like crap. Like you know, like these puppets. Like you know, like she kind of does that on purpose to make it look like there's like, you know, like a structure to it. That's kind of why she does that. That's like what I mean by using theater techniques. So yeah, she's had a crazy career. Like she's always been like artsy, and she studied in Japan. She studied like Japanese like puppetry theater and Indonesian puppet theater and stuff like that. So she's done a lot of crazy stuff. That's why you see like if you've seen The Lion King and you see these puppets, like they're pretty cool. So that's really where she got that from. Yeah, I like how she would do stuff like that. Yeah, so and I remember I think I saw the movie like again on Stars when it came out, and then I was like, okay, well, like let me buy the DVD and listen to the commentary for this. And hearing the commentary stuff, like it's pretty interesting. I mean, I would urge anybody to try to do that because you do get a lot of factoids and production techniques. So yeah.
Do you remember that TV show on VH1? It was called Pop Up Video.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, which is like the coolest thing because then you're like, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, it's like that's really cool.
No, I love that show. I would watch it all the time. I mean, it was kind of hard to find it because it would just show at random times. Like you never knew when they were going to show it, but when they did, I was like, oh,
so it literally did just pop up.
Yeah, it would just pop up. It's like they should do that. Cool. Why isn't that on YouTube? Like new versions of it, you know? Because I think
we can create it.
Okay.
But that's a lot of
it's a lot of work.
A lot of work, yeah. A lot of research what goes into that.
Well, maybe people nowadays maybe they just feel like, oh, I can just do this research on my phone. But that was cool at the time because there were things you wouldn't have known. Like the internet wasn't so commonplace as it is now, obviously. So let me talk a little bit how I got into the Beatles, and then I'll kind of get into the movies. When growing up, I always was more into hip hop as a kid. That's kind of was my main music growing up. You know, obviously when I was really little, it was like whatever pop was on the radio, Michael Jackson, whatever. But then I remember like in 6th grade, I got really into hip hop from just because Earl, our older brother, he was DJing at the time, and that kind of got me into it, and just it was really big at the time, you know, like hearing, watching MTV Jams and BET and stuff like that. I was really into that. So that's how I got into that. But then in high school, I kind of was like trying to discover other things. So I kind of got more into rock a little bit at that time. And then like junior year is when I really got into classic rock. Definitely. Like I really got into, Led Zeppelin, Cream, Jimi Hendrix. I was really into that junior, senior year. And then when I graduated high school, I kept hearing all the stuff about the Beatles, and the Beatles are so great and all this stuff. And they were like on VH1, they used to do a lot of specials, like greatest albums of all time and greatest whatever songs of all time. And the Beatles were like the top on every damn list. And it was like, are the Beatles that damn great? And so, but then I guess when I finally graduated high school, I was like, okay, I'm ready to discover the Beatles. Let me like listen to them. And I remember I think Dad had the like the blue and red albums, which are like greatest hits, where they're like looking down at in the EMI building. And I remember just listening to that, and I was like, oh, this song's pretty good, and slowly I kind of got more into them. And then I bought the albums, because they really, you should listen to their albums as a whole. That's like really how the Beatles should be listened to, because that's where you really see their artistry. And then, I would listen to those. And then I bought the anthology, like the documentary anthology, and I got really into them from that. I was like, damn, these guys really are geniuses. Like they really are great. And and then I've loved them ever since then. Like they've been my favorite group ever since then, just because to me they have like the perfect career to me. no band will ever produce greater songs. I don't think. To me, like they're like the Michael Jordan of groups. You know what I mean? In the sense, like to me, Jordan had the perfect career. 6 for 6 finals. You know what I'm saying? They're like 13 for 13 albums. Like they're just masterpieces, and they just broke up, and that's it. You know what I mean? And then the fact, John died pretty young, so you'll never see them reunite. You know what I mean? So it's like there's just a closure to their career that like feels so perfect. Like nothing could taint it. You know what I mean? So that's why I've always loved them. Like, and that's why I love Michael Jordan too. It's like to me, they just have like these perfect careers. So that's how I got into Beatles.
It's not like then they were aging, and then it just was like they're just putting out something. Well, I mean, we could say that. I mean, you know what I'm gonna say?
His albums are still pretty good. If you listen to them, they're still good.
I mean, I haven't listened to them, so I mean, I'm sure the musicianship could be very well. But he is
he's all.
So I mean, but if you have that spark and you have that talent, you'll always have it. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Who am I to say?
Yeah, and he's still sharp because we saw him like almost 10 years ago now at the Desert Trip Festival, which was at Coachella, but it was like all the old rockers were there, and he didn't take the stage till like midnight, and he played for like 3 hours.
Wow.
So he still has the energy.
Well, that was 10 years ago.
But I mean, but he's still out there. He's still doing it.
I know. Dad was like, he's like, let me go. He goes, he's 82 years old or something like that. And I go,
yeah.
If he can still perform and he still wants to perform.
Yeah, I kind of was like, let me just see if he wants to go, and he'll probably be like, no, it's okay or whatever.
I was pretty surprised because he has a lot of responsibilities right now. So.
Or just in general.
I'm glad he's staying out.
I was like, let me at least offer, and if he doesn't want to, whatever, And then he was like, yeah, let's go. He was like all excited. I was like, wow, okay, cool.
So then he really wants to go.
Yeah. So I mean, Sorry, Tom.
The zoomies.
Tom is going crazy.
I love the zoomies.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe we can start talking about the movie now.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I get pretty long-winded with the Beatles,
Yeah.
I could go on and on. So let me go to Wikipedia. That's something that we always do.
Okay.
Is the Wikipedia description. So Wikipedia describes this as follows. In the 1960s, Jude Feeney, a shipyard worker in Liverpool, heads to the U.S. to find his GI father, who conceived him during World War II, whom he has never met. He promises his girlfriend Molly he will stay in touch while he is away. Meanwhile, in New Jersey, Lucy Kerrigan worries about her boyfriend Daniel, who is headed for service in the Vietnam War. In Dayton, Ohio, cheerleader Prudence pines for a fellow female cheerleader and then drops out of school in shame. Jude meets his father, Wes, a janitor at Princeton University, but does not particularly bond with him. While on campus, he meets and befriends slacker student Max, who brings him home for Thanksgiving. He introduces Jude to his family, including Lucy, his younger sister. So now, something I like to say is that to me, a good movie can be good for like even just for one aspect being great. Like it doesn't have to be a masterpiece. Like a masterpiece gets like almost everything right. Almost everything is perfect. But
what's a masterpiece?
Interstellar, Inception. I would say La La Land is a masterpiece.
I'm more of like, for me, it would be like The Godfather. Like something that's just the acting is spot on. The characters, the story development, the director, those things.
Yeah. I mean, that's a masterpiece for sure. But I can still appreciate films where it's like maybe the story, like I don't watch it for the story. I watch it for the music and the wardrobe. Like a movie like that, I would say is Drive, where to me the story sucks. Like there's no story to it really, but I watch it for the cinematography, the cool factor, the music, like that stuff makes it a good movie. Like so I can appreciate movies where it's like a few of the like aspects of the film are good, and that it is what it is. So to me, even though this movie I wouldn't say it's a masterpiece, like it's not a perfect movie by any means, but I do appreciate it a lot. Like I really like the cast. I think the cast is really good.
Yeah,
they can all sing pretty well. and a lot of just like the director's
I thought
mise en scène and stuff. Yeah, like how she put it together like a play. Like I like her direction. I think it's pretty cool. So, like Julie Taymor, the director, she said they chose all the songs first. They were like, okay, let's choose what songs we want to do, and then build around that. And they were kind of like, okay, so this is like the story of the '60s. So, like basically during the time frame where the Beatles were active, let's make this storyline throughout that whole time. So from like the early '60s to like 1970, basically. So the movie starts out and we see Jude on the beach sitting, and he looks at the camera. He looks like directly at the camera, and he goes, "Is there anybody going to listen to my story?" So yeah, I like that he includes that. It's just one little line from "Girl," but that's the song from Rubber Soul, the John song, and then it does this flash forward with the Helter Skelter build up. And you see just like all this montage of like things like that you're gonna see, like a vision of things to come, which I like when movies do that. So like Takashi Miike does that a lot in his films, where you see like a flash forward, you see something like you'll see like the present day basically, and then you see something random later on in the movie, but you don't know what that is yet, and then it goes back. Like they do that in this movie. Miike, like I said, does that a lot in his films. So, and I like you also hear it on some albums, like on Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. You hear like a culmination in the beginning. You hear like some other tracks in the beginning, and then it kicks into the opening of the song. So there's precedence for this. So then we see Jude's life in Liverpool, and it kind of makes allusions to the Beatles background, like the clubs they used to play at, and even the style of the film, like how they shoot it there is like intentional. They're trying to make it look like a '50s, '60s British film. Like they're trying to make it look like that with like the black and white. So those films were called kitchen sink dramas, where it was like kind of more raw. It wasn't like Hollywood movies at the time. It was just like black and white, people arguing, British people arguing with each other. That was kind of like the style of that time. So that's, if you noticed early in the film, like that's kind of what they were trying to do, at least on the British side. Like a movie like Saturday Night, Sunday Morning, This Sporting Life, or even Hard Day's Night, kind of, it's actually kind of part of that scene, even though that's kind of surreal. It's more of a musical, but the full black and white aspect of it is what they're trying to do. And then going up to the film If, directed by Lindsay Anderson. I love that movie, which is Malcolm McDowell's first movie. If you've never seen that movie's great.
No,
you should
seen it.
you should watch it sometimes. It's on Criterion Collection. If you have that, check it out. And yeah, so this, I feel like that British kitchen sink, they kind of got it from Italian neorealism, which was a trend at the time, where basically it was during World War II. Like while the war was going on, these Italian filmmakers like just started making films like in the street with like real people, and like that invented this like genre basically. So I think a lot of like the British got inspiration by that. I know a lot of like Middle Eastern filmmakers like took inspiration for that, because it was just like, okay, we don't have real actors, we'll just use like real people and try to make a interesting scene out of it. So and then we see Jude and his girlfriend dancing at the Cavern Club, and it's Hold Me Tight that's playing. They're trying to show like that's what the Beatles were like at the time. Like they would wear these leather jackets and they would play at this club, and then they show the American side where it's Evan Rachel Wood and her crew there, and it's like a prom basically, and they're kind of showing the two sides. Like this is the American side, which is very like whitewashed and sanitized, and then like this British side, which is like down and dirty. I thought that was cool how they juxtaposed that. And then we see Jude. He said he's going away to find his dad in America, and we see Lucy saying goodbye to her boyfriend who's going into the military, and we can see that Vietnam is like going on at the time, so we can see that he could be in danger when he goes off. Yeah, and the hat that he wears is similar to the hat that they would wear in Help, where it's like this like type of like postal hat that they kind of wear. He was wearing that same sort of hat. And then he starts singing "All My Loving" to his girlfriend, and it's almost like they kind of tried to do the song somewhat chronologically, like as far as like the Beatles' career, kind of like let's do some of the early songs early in the movie, then as we go on, we'll do like some of their later songs. So, I mean, I'm sure they did that on purpose, and and then he goes off on the boat, and his girlfriend sees him off, and then she kisses her boyfriend goodbye. And it's funny how they casted the guy who plays her boyfriend, because he's like this square jawed all American dude,
Right.
and it's funny because the puppets you see later kind of look like him. They're kind of like based on his square jawness. So I think that was kind of interesting. That's like an example of her cool direction that I like. And then we see this Asian cheerleader girl, who's played by actress TV Carpio, and she plays Prudence, which is what we were saying is based on Dear Prudence, the Beatles song from the White Album, which Susie remade, right? You like that version? Susie Suit? Yeah.
Yeah, I think actually
You prefer that version?
I prefer that version
Yeah.
to be honest.
And I was supposed to see her, but it didn't end up happening.
Well, she's still alive.
Yeah, but she had her tours though.
Yeah.
But then there was some lightning storm and they had to kick everyone out. It was horrible.
Yeah.
And it was like right before she was about to play too.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
This wasn't meant to be, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it was not. So then, we see Prudence, and you see her singing, and we see these football players playing, and some other cheerleaders there, and there's a little twist, right?
Right.
You think she's singing about the football dudes, but
I need for a football player.
Yeah, but she's really singing about the other cheerleaders. Yeah, and you felt like that was random, kind of.
Yeah, I did. Then the story, it was a little bit right. It could have been placed in a different, or they could have introduced her character differently. Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
but maybe the whole thing is, the director wants to build relevance,
right?
Even though we don't know what homosexuality was in the 60s. I mean, we kind of really don't. So,
yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So,
and then we see her walking in slow motion through the guys playing football.
Yeah.
And did you think that was cheesy when she was doing that?
Yeah, it's cheesy.
Yeah, that's probably not the strongest part of the film. But this is where I feel like a lot of people watch it and they turn it off. They're like, okay, this is crap. So they turn it off here.
But I mean, it's very much, the whole thing is it's a movie musical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how else would you incorporate that? I mean,
exactly.
That's how it has to be done.
Yeah.
Granted, it's not done as well as La La Land.
Right.
But that's different. I mean, the whole story is more about a whole like generation and incorporating the Beatles into that generation. Where La La Land, it's really about two lovers.
Yeah.
And their relationship.
Yeah.
And their dreams.
Yeah.
To be honest. So they're just totally different.
Right. And La La Land, it was so simple that it was easier to like tie songs together. The Beatles, it was like kind of forcing it, but
yeah, because you're trying to, it's like you're making the movie around the Beatles,
right?
Not putting the Beatles into a movie,
right?
You know what I mean? The music and you're building it through that. So.
Yeah. So it's always going to be a little bit of a stretch, right? So, and then we see Prudence trying to hitchhike, and then this match cut, we see Jude trying to hitchhike, and he's landed in America, and so he goes to Princeton where his dad works supposedly, and we see this blonde guy running around, and he bumps into Jude, and he asks for Professor Wesley Huber, and he's like, oh, I never heard of him, but there's a custodian named that, and he's like, oh, okay, great. So he talks to his dad, and his dad said, oh, you're British. He's like, I was stationed there during the war. It's like, I had some good times. And he's like, well, like, I'm the product of your good times. It's kind of he says, and I guess he says he didn't realize that he got her pregnant, and he feels bad about it. So, but then Jude doesn't really know what to do, so he finds the blonde dude Max again. So that's another Beatles reference, Maxwell Silverhammer. That's why he's called Max. And like he ran away. He's running away because he just hit golf balls off the roof and it breaks some windows. And Jude tells him he's sleeping there temporarily, and he asks why, and he's like, "Well, what would you do if they caught you?" And he says it would involve genitalia and shoe polish. I don't know what that's about. But, so then they give him a beer and they start singing "A Little Help from My Friends," which Ringo sang on Sgt. Pepper. And did you like this rendition of "Little Help from My Friends"?
I mean, I liked it. I liked the song, and I got it. I got the reasoning behind it, and the two eventually become very close.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was cute.
Yeah, I guess she casted that guy. Like she was trying to cast an American, but that guy's actually British too. The blonde dude.
Guy.
Yeah.
Max.
And she was saying like, "Oh, I was trying to cast Americans." He's like, "But like," she was saying, "Oh, like the American actors, they don't have that. What I'm looking for, like they don't have that thing or whatever." That's what she was saying. She was saying like these British guys could do it. Like if I needed them to sing or do something stupid, they could do it easily. Whereas the American guys were like,
they didn't want to do anything stupid.
Yeah, they didn't want to look dumb.
They feel too inhibited.
Yeah, that's kind of what she was saying.
Yeah.
So hey, like he got the part. I think he did a good job with it. And I've seen him in a couple other movies.
I've not seen him.
I saw him in something. I've seen him.
Maybe it's because of the hair.
Yeah, he has
you can tell
weird
that you could tell that is not the right hair for his head.
Right.
Traditionally.
He almost looked a little Cobain-y.
Yeah, the actor. Yeah, he did. Yeah, big time.
Yeah, he could do the Cobain biopic maybe after that. Yeah, and then I like how they smoke a fake joint like in the scene. Like that's very like a theater technique. You know what I mean? Like in the sense that everything is fake usually, and then they do like a little like bring in the noise, bring in the funk.
They couldn't actually smoke just a real joint.
I mean, I think she thought that's what was funny about it, that it was just like with the air, you know what I mean? Like, I guess, I don't know. It's a theater thing, like I say. And then they do a little like bring in the noise, bring in the funk with like the fake drumming. It's like, I thought that was kind of cheesy. And then the ending, they changed it to that Joe Cocker Wonder Years version of the song. You know, like when they do it throughout, and it's like the Beatles version, but then at the very end, they do the Wonder Years version of it. So I thought that was cool. And then they all pass out on the couch, and then we see Evan Rachel Wood, Lucy, walking with her friend from school, and she gets a letter from her mom, and we assume it's for college. And then they bust out into "It Won't Be Long," yeah.
That one was cute. I really like that.
I love that song. That's one of their underrated songs. I remember Franz Ferdinand, like when Franz Ferdinand first came out and they were getting big, they were saying like, this is the type of song that we try to do. Like we try to make pop rock for girls to dance to. I remember that's what the dude from Franz Ferdinand was saying.
And he did that with right? It's like your hands.
From Franz Ferdinand?
Something about your hands. Like
remember they did "Take Me Out"? Take me out.
No, it's a Fits and the Tantrums.
Oh, I can make your head close. That was way later.
That actually seems more Beatles-ish, to be honest.
I mean, yeah.
If the Beatles were alive right now in this,
they would do that type of style. You think?
For sure.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I liked Fits and the Tantrums. I liked them a lot. Especially when they first came out. Like their first two albums, I think, are great. And I do like that song. It's kind of a guilty pleasure, but I do like
or they, they could have been like Wham. We don't know.
Well, some people.
Well, I guess no one can ever take the place of Wham. Wham was pretty amazing.
George Michael.
Yeah, I mean, he was.
Yeah.
He's cute.
What's your favorite George Michael composition? As a side note.
I love Faith, to be honest. I love Faith. I love the one that has all the models.
Freedom?
Freedom. Yeah, I love Faith. I love Freedom.
I like One Last Cry.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. as far as a ballad.
And that just died too soon.
Yeah.
And who would have thought it was like liver disease?
Yeah.
I mean, would you have thought he would have drank that much?
I wouldn't think so, but I think he must have had
other
maybe like hepatitis, maybe.
Yeah, but even
related to that or something.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah. That song's good. That I Want Your Sex. That song's tight. Come on. I love that. And the beat, that was sick.
Yeah.
Love that song.
Yeah. So we're just railing.
We're sideballing.
Yeah, but it's another wonderful British.
It connects. Yeah. So it won't be long. Yeah. So yeah, she's singing that. And I didn't realize she was so young. She was 17 when she did that.
No, I did. Well, because I remember her in 13.
Yeah, I remember her in 13, but I didn't know she was actually 13.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah, she was only 17 when she did this. So I thought she looks older, like there. Not that she looks old, but just like something about her. She seemed more mature than that. And then it's like they're playing basketball. It's this cheesy basketball scene, and she shoots the ball and she misses it. And Prudence finally gets picked up from hitchhiking, and Max picks up Evan with Jude, and he picks up his sister Lucy with Jude, and we see that they're brother and sister. So he kind of like, oh, okay, like he's like, wow, his sister is pretty hot, I guess he was thinking. And it's funny. He said like, he's like, what's Thanksgiving like? I don't know what Thanksgiving. That's what Jude is saying. She says it's a heartwarming American tradition. It celebrates the time when the Indians gave food to the early settlers, and how do we repay them? We slaughtered them by the thousands and shipped them off to the shittiest bits of real estate. I love how she says that.
All true.
Yeah, it's all true. I like how straightforward she was about it.
One night I was working in the bar when I was bartending, and I mean, it was a pretty slow night, and I used to have a regular. He was from the Bay Area. I think it was Sacramento, and he would come down, and he was older and not super old, but he might have been like in his, at the time of the story, which the story would have been like
08, 07?
7 years ago.
Oh.
So not too
2017.
Yeah. Like, yeah, not too long ago, but definitely before COVID.
Right.
We were there, and then there was a young lady, and she was, tribal, I guess I should say.
Okay. Native.
Well, it's like
or indigenous.
Yeah, it's like I don't even think they want to be called that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
They don't. I think I think they want to be called American Indian.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard that.
Right? Because it's like they don't want to be called.
Yeah.
Indigenous. They don't want to be called. So at least American Indian.
Yeah.
So, but he was like telling her, he's like, oh, because she was saying like down the bar, and then he was over here, and because I had talked to her a little bit, and you could tell probably just like her look that she was American Indian, and he was like, oh, because it was during Thanksgiving. He's like, oh, have a good Thanksgiving. And she's just like,
I she thought it was stupid. Yeah.
Not that she had to say something. And then he was just kind of like, oh, okay.
Like, what's her problem?
Yeah, kind of. And then it's just like, it's like, well, Thanksgiving. And she said it. She's like, slaughtered my people. So, and then and then she just kind of kept to herself. And then he just kind of mouthed to me. It's just like, everybody's so sensitive. Like, well, I get what you're saying, but I also get where she's coming at. Yeah. More importantly, just common decency. Why don't we just go with what she's saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep your happy Thanksgiving to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Like he didn't mean malice or whatever.
No, but
he was
also
culturally unaware, right?
Right.
Like, yeah.
Right. I mean, I don't want to say ignorant, but kind of ignorant. Yeah. Right. It's just like, he definitely wasn't woke. Yeah. He's not part of this woke generation.
Right.
Where now it's like, what I mean? Talk about sensitivity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This is like you can't say anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. That's interesting. I'm surprised you did bartending that long, right? Like that was you did that for a while, right?
Like, you mean when I started, you didn't think, you thought it was just going to do it for like a year or even not even do it. And I enjoyed it. I mean, I really did enjoy it.
Right.
It was, and not that I'm like a super, you know, super outgoing person or anything like that, but definitely for that job, you have to be. And
Yeah.
it definitely gives you a confidence and like where you can talk to anybody, right? And
Right.
be anything. And
Yeah.
it was definitely a really active job. I mean, you know, good money and it was fun, you know, and I really enjoyed it. Got good shifts. I stuck with it for as long
Right.
as I could, anyways.
Yeah. No, good for you.
Thank you.
Well, it was similar to me working at Target in the sense that like you're forced to be social.
Yeah.
You know, like you know, I was more social in that position than I am in my current one, even though I
Right.
somewhat am, but not as much. I'm not forced to
Yeah.
talk to as many people as I had to.
Well, it's
then.
almost like you didn't know you had it in you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
now it's like, now that you're in a position when you're not like that, it's like, no, that is what I should be.
Yeah.
Because I excelled at that.
Right.
You know, that
Yeah.
was like I would talk to, you know, like some of the other my bartender friends that I worked with, and it was just like, you know, at that point, the only thing that I knew how to do really, really good was run a bar.
Right.
Run a busy bar.
Right.
But now I know that I can do more than that. But
right.
And again, we digress.
Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah.
There's room for that.
2 hours.
For that.
I don't know how much.
Okay, not that much room. But
Yeah,
some
not that much room. But
okay, so they're having dinner for Thanksgiving, and the guy who plays the dad, he's great. His name is Dylan Baker.
Yeah.
And he's from the movie Happiness, the Todd Solondz movie, which is great. I love that film. And I wanted to cast him. Like if I do our film or show series that I want to do, I wanted to cast him as Chris. He'd be like the perfect, you know, just textbook white guy, you know, with like a textbook white guy with like a good heart who like means well, but is always doing stupid crap. Like,
have you watched The Studio?
No, I do want to see that though.
It's good, but his friend in that is spot on. Yeah, he's just like he just ends up doing like stupid crap, but he kind of means well, but definitely stupid.
Yeah, I would love to work with that guy someday. But it's funny, they're at the dinner table and they're like, "What are you gonna do, Max?" And then Max is like, "Oh, like everybody keeps asking me that. What will he do? What will he do? It's just funny how he says that. Yeah. And then Sturgis, if you see it cuts to him and he's like about to laugh. He's like, I like that they put that in there. Like he's like you can see him like holding his laughter in that scene. It's kind of funny. Yeah. And then I mean I feel like that was a realistic Thanksgiving dinner. Like the arguments, kind of the family dynamics. I thought it was pretty funny. And then they go bowling, and this is another controversial musical montage. They sing "See the Face, I Can't Forget the Time and Place Where We Just Met."
Why was that controversial?
No, in the sense that people hate it, is what I'm trying to say.
It's like that's where he really
fell for her.
Yeah, right? He really liked her. They had fun. They clicked. He forgot all about Molly.
Yeah. Well, he's thousands of miles away, I guess, at that point. So, So they're singing that, and this was the Beatles' skiffle song. That skiffle was a style from the 50s that was like kind of country, but kind of not like kind of train. Like they're trying to get a rhythm of a train with that type of song. So the Beatles, this is their version of that. So Mumford and Sons didn't invent this style. Yeah. Okay.
How did the Beatles meet, actually?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Well, it's something that we outline in Nowhere Boy. So you can listen to that podcast right after this one. Nowhere Boy on the YouTube link and Spotify. So how the Beatles met, let's see. So Skylar's sleeping. That's what's great about them is just like it was fate. It was just meant to be, like them meeting. And that's great. Like, how'd you get so many talented dudes all from the same city, all in one band? You know, like how does that happen? Like, it's just, what are the odds of that, right?
To me, I feel like when people are stars, like sometimes like people really think their kids are going to be stars, right?
Right.
You know, that you start them young, whatever.
Yeah.
But
people force that though.
fact is that the kids that really do become stars, they had it in
organic.
Yeah, it's like they always had it. Like Taylor Swift isn't just made; she's born. Like she already had it in her to become this humongous star.
Yeah, because her family is not musical.
Right. It's just I think her grandmother, but that's what I'm saying. Or just even like, it's just the people that are really great. It's like, yeah, you know how people say practice makes perfect, but it's like it isn't just that.
Yeah,
it's not like that. It's like there is something in them where they are going to be stars. Like you can't stop it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's like it's gonna happen because it's fate. They have it in them. Yeah, like there's either like they're such great actors or they know how to. They're very charismatic because a lot of it is that too.
Right. Yeah.
Is building that charisma and being able to get where you need to go.
Yeah.
And being smart enough to figure out when the time is right to do it, to take advantage of that. Yeah. So that's what I always think is just like, the people that, that are really big stars, it's because all these things like work together, but it's because they are incredibly talented.
Right.
Like they're not just, there's a lot of people that are talented, or you practice and you're really good at something, but you stop at like, doing the San Diego Symphony. You're not,
there's
the
ceiling.
It's just, it's just so.
Yeah.
That's something, right?
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm glad you mentioned that. I mean, that kind of ties into me with kind of like genius too, like and the fact that you can't calculate genius. It just kind of happens. Like I remember I was watching this thing. There's this really good show with William Shatner, who there was like rumors that he was like on his deathbed the other day or something like that. Well, he's pretty old. He's like 94, 95, but he seems really sharp still. Yeah. And he still hosts this show, The Unexplained, which is on Netflix and it's on other stuff. Where there's like he's done this for years. He always does these like paranormal type of shows. Yeah. He's good at that though. Yeah. He's really good at it. The show, The Unexplained, I think it's on Netflix, the current season. And there's one episode where they talk about genius, like how is genius, like how does it manifest, kind of, And so there was a study like in the early 1800s or like late 1800s in San Francisco where they were like, hey, we're gonna test all these students, like all these elementary students, to see if there's any geniuses in this group. Mm-hmm. So they did this test and they like plucked out, there's like, okay, these kids got, like they did the IQ test on all of them. Mm-hmm. And they're like, okay, these are the geniuses because they got over whatever, 160 IQ. So these are the genius kids. And so they're kind of like, okay, like monitor these kids because you'll see that they're the ones who are going to do cool things growing up when they grow up, right? So they did that. None of those kids did anything. None of those kids were geniuses. Like they didn't do anything special. There were 2 Nobel Prize winners who weren't geniuses though in that. And so that's what's interesting. They're like, oh, see, you can't calculate genius. Like it just like happens. Like it just manifests somehow. You know what I mean? There's no like code for it. So I mean, I think that's like a Beatles thing too. Like you would never expect 4 random dudes to come out of this small town in England. You know what I mean?
Or even just like think about like Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I mean, you wouldn't just even looking at him.
Yeah.
But then it's like his music was like just like, was so It just, even though he's just yelling in a microphone sometimes.
Yeah. That's his genius. I mean, and that's the thing. And all the Beatles, to me, they're all our geniuses. I mean, Ringo is a genius at the drums. You know what I mean? George is a genius guitar player and songwriter. And Paul and John are both geniuses songwriters for sure. So how they meet? So, I mean, John, they're all from Liverpool, right? And so John, he grew up with his aunt. Like he had a mom who was around, but he didn't grow up with her. But then one day his aunt's husband died, his uncle. He died, and then at the funeral his mom was there, and that was like the first time he'd seen her since he was really little. So he was kind of like, oh crap, like that's my mom, and they kind of reconnected there.
Why wasn't he brought up by his parents?
Because his mom kind of like got rid of him. Like she was kind of like, oh,
she didn't want to be a mom.
Yeah, kind of like she was kind of like,
her sister was like, oh, I'll take
yeah, basically,
instead of like giving him to up for adoption or whatever.
Yeah, basically. And then his dad he wasn't like, he was like a merchant seaman. I guess that's what his job was. So he was like not around. He was like in New Zealand a lot or whatever. So he was kind of born out of wedlock like that. And so, yeah, his mom didn't want to be a mom at the time. But then when they reconnected, she kind of like started, I guess, kind of loving him again when they reconnected. So she taught him how to play banjo. Actually, that was the first thing she taught him, and then like guitar from there. And then from then on, she kind of taught him how to be cool because he was kind of like a square at the time, and she could play music. She would do like little dive bar performances and stuff like that. So she kind of taught him that stuff, and then she got him into seeing like Elvis, like the Elvis movies that he would do, and he was like, "Oh crap, like that would be cool to be a rock star, like that would be fun." So then he kind of tried doing songs, and then he started his own band. He started a band with just other guys who couldn't play any instruments, but he's like, "I want a band." So like, you guys are in my band. So he formed a band with some of his random friends, and they called themselves the Quarrymen. So that was the first name that they had. And they put flyers. They're like, okay, this is going to be our first show. We're going to play at this like church rummage sale, basically. So like they put up flyers, the Quarrymen, and like, you know, they were making a big deal out of it. And so, yeah, John, he's singing there, and they were doing like some covers. Like they were doing a few covers. Like they did come little darling, come and go with me, that song. Vikings, I think.
So you ever watched the Beastie Boys and how they originally like when they're talking about it themselves? It's funny because they kind of say it that way too. They didn't really, I mean, they played instruments, but they weren't really good. But they just wanted to be in a band. So they were just like, oh, let's just make a band.
Yeah. So. No, I mean, some of the best bands just start that way, you know, like it's just the desire to just do it, you know. So like, yeah, they played, and Paul says, me and like this guy we had a mutual friend who invited me to this church rummage sale performance that they were gonna do. And so Paul was there, and also what was cool is like, oh, and me and this guy, we were born on the same day. Like we're born on the exact same day, same year. So we're like, it's cool that we're friends, right? So he invited him to this performance, and he saw John playing and his band, and Paul was like, "Oh, like you guys are all right." And they show this in Nowhere Boy. So if you see Nowhere Boy, it's kind of funny because you can see this whole thing play out, and it's kind of cool. So he goes backstage, and then after the show, like John thinks he's like the shit. He's like drinking a beer, and he's like, "Yeah, we killed that. We rocked that performance." And he comes back, and they're like, here's my friend Paul I was telling you about. Like he plays, and then they're like, "Oh, what does he play?" And then John's like, "With himself." That's what he says. And then Paul's kind of like embarrassed, and then he's like, "No," he's like, "I play a little guitar," and he's like, "I write some songs too." And then he's like, "Okay, well, let's see you play." So he had a guitar, and Paul's left-handed, so he has to play the guitar left-handed. So he was playing it, and he started playing, and then you can see John. He was like, "Damn!" He's like, "This guy's good." He's like, "Crap, he's better than any of these guys." He's like, "He's better than me." He's like, "I might need this guy to join my band." So I guess he said, like, after that event wrapped up, he was like, okay, he's like, "You want to be in our band?" And he's like, "I'll think about it." That's what Paul said. And then the next day he's like, "Yeah, I'll join your band." So he joined the band, and then they kicked out one of the other guys who didn't really want to be in the band anyway. So they kicked out those guys. And then Paul was like, "Oh, I know this guy named George. He's a bit younger. He's like a little bit younger, but he's a pretty good guitar player." And then
George Harrison is the tallest of them.
Yeah, I guess. I think he's like an inch taller than John and Paul. Yeah, and so, but he was the youngest. He was the youngest of them. So Paul tells John, like, "I know this guy George. He's a pretty good guitar player." So they're like, okay. So they met on a double-decker bus. They're like, okay, let's go to the top. And he had like an amp, like a portable amp. And he's like, "Play, let's see what you can play." And so he started playing this blues song, and John was like, "Damn, this guy's good too." He's like, "Wow, okay, like you're in the band then." So then it was the three of them, and they had like other drummers, but it wasn't really that stable. And they had a guy, Pete Best. He ended up being like their drummer for a while. You probably heard his name before, right? Yeah. So he was their drummer. He was their original drummer for a while. But he was kind of like, he was late a lot. Like he was kind of like not professional enough, you know, because they're like, "We're really trying to make it," you know what I mean? Yeah, and he kind of wasn't, and he was like kind of slacking. But so a lot of these British bands, they would play in Germany. Like Germany was like, "Hey, if you can play, like you can play at our club, then we'll pay you," you know. So when John, Paul, and George saw that, they're like, "Yeah, let's go. Let's get the hell out of here. Let's do something." So yeah, so they played in some bars in Germany at that time, Hamburg, and then they would see other bands. They saw some other band. They're like, "Oh, these guys are from Liverpool. These other bands or whatever." Because there was a group called Rory Storm and the Hurricanes, and they're from Liverpool. And then they were like, "Oh, like that drummer's pretty good. The drummer in their band." And so that was Ringo. So then Ringo would like kind of jam with them sometimes. Then he's like, "Oh, let's jam," and they would jam, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, this guy's cool." But we didn't want to like just steal him from there, you know what I mean? And then we had this guy we still needed to kick out too. So they were kind of like, how are we going to do this? So, yeah, so they were going to record their first song. They were going to do like Love Me Do. That was or Please Please Me, one of those. I think Love Me Do. Yeah, they were going to do that. That was going to be their first song. And the producer, George Martin, he didn't like Pete Best. He was like, "Oh, I don't think he's that good of a drummer." He's like, "I think you get somebody better." So they're like, "Okay, well, I guess we can kick him out and we'll ask Ringo if he wants to be with us." And they're like, "Okay, like, yeah, sure. Okay." So they kicked the Pete Best guy out and they brought in Ringo, and the rest is history, basically.
How about their look? How did they generate that?
How they generate their look. So I think I was telling you that.
Research.
Yeah. So I think I told you early on, they were wearing leather jackets. They were wearing leather and they looked more like, kind of these type of rockers, like Gene Vincent kind of style. But then, so Brian Epstein, he was their manager. So this guy, Brian Epstein, he saw them playing at the Cavern Club, and he's like, "Oh, these guys are pretty good." He's like, maybe if like we cleaned them up a bit, they could be more marketable, kind of. That's was like, I guess, was going in his head. But then Paul has said in interviews, and I guess the other guys too, they've said in interviews, he was like, "Oh, we were kind of tired of that style anyway." He's like, we were tired of the leather jackets. Like, it was
that's how they came up with the suits.
Yeah. They were kind of like, "Oh, let's do something different. Like, let's let's get rid of the leather jackets and just dress like classy. Like, let's just like whatever, things that we like now. We're kind of over that teenage trend." So that's kind of how they got their dress. And then I think the manager, Brian Epstein, saw that too, and he was like, "Okay, yeah." He kind of like styled them a little bit, and that's kind of what led to, their dress of the time. So, which is iconic, right?
Yeah, no, it definitely is. There's something to be said when you change something or tweak something to make you more marketable, to be honest.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. So that, and then that.
It reminds me of Interpol, actually.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of what people were saying when Interpol first came out. Like,
the style.
Yeah, where they're like, "Oh, they're like, why are these guys wearing ties or whatever?" You know what I mean? Like, why are they? Like, people thought that was weird at the time.
Well, the great thing about Interpol is that they had that grunge look, but with like the classier, because it's like you'd see, was it Paul?
Yeah.
His hair would be like
disheveled.
Disgusting. Yeah. And oily. Like he literally hadn't taken a shower in like 10 days and just combed to the side, but he was wearing this like really nice suit.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So it gave him some credibility.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's interesting, but yeah, I think that is what it kind of reminds me of.
Yeah, no, here at Briterion, a lot of us are big Interpol fans. Me, you, Eileen, Chris is into them too.
Yeah. Was Chris always into them?
No.
I thought he's more a rapper.
I mean, he likes some rap, but like, no, he's more into 80s.
Just all 80s.
That's like his main thing, because that's, his era. But he'll listen to whatever.
Well, isn't he younger than me?
No. No, Chris he's like, he even said it himself, he's almost 60.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's older than Willow.
Yeah, but probably by a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, Willow's going to be 56.
Yeah, I think because Chris was born 69. Is that when Willow was born too?
No, Willow was born in 70.
Oh, okay.
So then Chris is he must be 56 right now, going on 57. So I mean, not really that.
Yeah.
He's a couple of years off.
Yeah.
That, so he can tell him to settle down.
Right. Well, I mean, he was exaggerating on purpose.
Also,
yeah.
Sure.
No, I mean, he doesn't strike me as that old. Yeah.
He doesn't. young at heart.
Yeah,
if anything.
He's just as jackassy as the next guy, and you can hear that on some of our podcasts, honestly. So yeah, I've just seen a face. I liked it. I thought it was a good sequence, and they slide on the, they slide on the thing.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was good. I thought it was perfect.
Yeah.
To me, it was the perfect part of it. So
Your favorite part of the movie.
Well, it was just like it blended.
I think this is where that girl from Target. I think this is where she was like, "Oh my god!"
It blended well together.
Yeah.
So I don't know what people are talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, and so after this, they're driving, and then you hear the da 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 da, and it kind of ends when they're driving. And Max looks over at Jude, and he's like, "She's got a boyfriend," and he's like, "I've got a girlfriend." He tells him that, and then,
like he's not interested.
Yeah, yeah, it's just like for fun, right? Yeah. And so they're on the freeway, and we see a New York City exit sign, and that we jump forward in time a bit. And they meet Sadie, who's like the landlady, I guess, of the place, and they're trying to rent an apartment off her, and she's a singer too. She's kind of like Janis Joplin meets Nick Acosta. Do you remember her? Nick Acosta. She did that. Everybody's got that something.
No, I know who Janis Joplin is though.
Nick Acosta. She's kind of like a one-hit, two-hit wonder, but that was a good album. The first album. She got a lot of like commercials at the time. And actually, that was Mark Ronson's first album he ever produced.
Mark Ronson's a genius.
Yeah. So that was his first production.
But what is
Nika Costa, that's her name.
I don't know.
She did that Like a Feather. It was on the same album, Like a Feather. You remember that?
It sounds like an album.
It's probably like a version. It was like a feather. It will be. I mean,
it sounds.
That's fireworks. Okay. Anyways, people at home, I'll do the link on Spotify to Nick Acosta first album. I like that album a lot. Like I said, Mark Ronson. If you're a big Mark Ronson fan, keep that. And so yeah, that's another Beatles reference because they have a song "Sexy Sadie," which is actually one of my favorite Beatles songs. Honestly, it's from the White Album. It's one of my favorite songs. I never get sick of that song. That's the thing. There are times where, like, I never get sick of the Beatles in general. Like, there are times where I stop listening. I don't listen to them as much. Like, I'll go away from them, but then I always come back to them, like my whole life. Like, I'll take a break and then I'll see something like one of their like the Cirque du Soleil thing or like a new movie that they're doing. It's like, dude, these guys are geniuses. Yeah, yeah. It always happens. This movie, maybe I think there was like a lull in my Beatles, listening, but then when this came out, I was like, oh yeah, these guys are great, So, but like within that, there are certain songs that I never get sick of, and "Sexy Sadie" is one of them. It's one of their underrated songs, and there's a really good album by the jazz pianist Ramsey Lewis. He did an all Beatles White Album cover album. Basically, it's like all songs from the White Album. And it's called Mother Nature's Son, which is also from the White Album. And it's just all jazz. Like, it came out like 69 or 70. It's really good.
Well, I think that we're going to go to her school's jazz concert. It's like the Peggy Lee.
Oh, cool.
It's like a tribute to Peggy
Lee. Oh, like the 50s singer? Really?
Yeah. So it's like they're...
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, she's an orchestra, but she
just to check it out.
Her teacher, Mr. Cabrera, you actually remind me of him.
That's what she was telling me, too.
So I mean, you should check it out. It's like tickets like $20 or less, but it seems like it'd be like a cool thing to like listen. Well, the thing that it's always hard for me to get through my head is that these are high school kids or not.
Right, yeah, you forget that, right?
It's like holy crap.
Yeah, they are so talented.
And you're just like, like wow.
Yeah.
Because they seem, what I mean?
Yeah.
And not that, but she's only in 7th grade. But it's like when she's, what's she going to be at a junior level? Yeah. It's like amazing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, it's really cool.
That's how you know they're good, is that you take it for granted. You're like, like if they mess up, you're like, why'd you mess up? Yeah. And it's like, wait, this guy's 10 years old.
Yeah.
That's how you know they're good. Like,
I mean, and we're digressing again, but it's okay. Yeah. But that's the whole point of
music related
and stuff. It's just that I think for me the hardest part of life is the fact that things don't live up to what my expectations were, right? It's like, so I had, a vision of what my daughter was going to be and what she was going to be like. And, as she's,
but I think it's like that for everybody.
I mean, that's just life. There's, you have some.
Girl wanted Kai to be like some surf god.
Yeah, so it's half your life is just trying to like get over it.
Right. Yeah.
Get over it and see them for what they are.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, so, she's not great at math. It's okay. But it's like, she swims competitively. I mean, she's, on a swim team. She plays the piano.
Yeah.
She plays bass. She can, play music by ear. Like I can barely do anything. I definitely can't play a piano. So it's like, this kid's doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, so she's not great at math. So I guess I need to get off her. She's getting a C. She goes, C is still a pass. And I go, I know, but you don't want to start off with that.
Right.
Because then it's only going to go, you have to go higher than that. Right. And then it gives you a little more breathing room.
Right.
But anyways, so, and like I said, so it's just,
No, Skylar's very talented.
Yeah.
I think it's because she's a remix of you and your husband.
Yeah.
And she's, kids are supposed to like inherit the best qualities from you guys.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why. And like kids are supposed to be improved upon versions of their parents. Actually.
Yes,
that's why she's like T1000 compared to you. Yeah. Anyways.
All right. Yeah. So let's get back.
Yeah, Nick Acosta. Yeah. So Sadie. Yeah, and then there's a line. You could have murdered your granny with a hammer. Like, oh, yeah. She tells that because she's like, you can trust us, and she's like, I can trust you. You could have murdered your granny with a hammer. Like that's another reference to the Maxwell's Silver Hammer, which is a Paul song from the Abbey Road. Is what it's called. So and then she walks away, and their acting is horrible here, where they're like, "Oh my gosh, she's so hot!" Like, it's so cheesy. And then what's his name's acting is kind of cheesy too. Well, Jim Sturgis. Well, I love Jim Sturgis.
Yeah, he hasn't done a lot.
He hasn't done a lot. Yeah.
What was that other movie that he had with?
One Day. Love that movie.
Yeah.
I love that movie. Yeah, I love that movie. I'm a big Jim Sturgis.
I would say that this movie definitely is better than that movie.
Yeah, I would probably say that too.
I think it's really, what's her name?
Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway. It's like she drives me bonkers.
In that movie or just in general?
In that movie for sure. In general, I'm kind of, I don't know, it's like borderline. It's like the only thing I liked her in is the Devil Wears Prada. And I'm going to say she's barely the one that I like in it. But that's the only thing I like her in. Right. I definitely liked Emily Blunt better in that movie. Meryl Streep was really good in that movie. I don't know. So to me, I can't believe all the hype. Yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't live up to the hype. Sorry.
I'm a One Day fan. I like the director, Lona Scherfig. She's a Danish director. She's done some good stuff. She did the movie Italian for Beginners, which is a great film. And maybe that's what I mean. Like, it's one of those movies that's not great, but I still like it for certain aspects.
Probably just because of him.
Yeah.
I mean, the director.
Yeah.
Because he's not bad. And I mean, he definitely was better in that movie than Anne Hathaway, for sure.
Yeah. He was on a good run at that time because he did this.
He was, yeah.
He did 21.
And then you don't see him again.
Yeah, and then he kind of fell off.
Quite some time.
And then I think what killed his career, and it killed a lot of careers, was Cloud Atlas, because that was horrible. That was really bad.
Yeah.
Do you even know what that is?
I heard of it.
It was freaking horrible.
That's what I hate. I hate when they have these movies like was it like Grand Canyon?
Oh, like these
where you
come together movies,
like
these,
Valentine's Day, where they have a gazillion actors.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're like The Love Boat.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna stick a whole bunch of well-known actors into this one, and the storylines are freaking terrible. And the acting is it's just like they just did it just to get paid, or just say that, okay, we're part of this ensemble.
Yeah.
And it's like the worst thing ever. I hate that.
Yeah.
It's like, why do they do that?
Yeah.
And it's never like directed by like Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always this some cheesy ass director that you never heard of. And it's like, and they all keep doing like, why would you do Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Like, what would possess you to do that? It's freaking terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not the biggest Gary Marshall fan. You know, he did those, and I would say his only great, like not even great, a good movie, and Aileen loves this movie too, is The Other Sister that Gary Marshall did with Juliette Lewis.
Yeah, and I never saw that.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, honestly. It's pretty funny.
I always thought it would just be too sad for me.
No, it's not that sad. Okay. Yeah.
But the one movie I do like is My Sister's Keeper. What's her face? We're talking about with sisters, yeah.
Cameron Diaz.
With Cameron Diaz, yeah.
That movie's sad, isn't it?
Oh, it's incredibly sad. It's incredibly sad.
And the director of that is Nick Cassavetes, who's John Cassavetes' son. And he has a small part in Face Off.
Okay.
So that's his claim to fame. But yeah, he's directed quite a few. So anyways. So yeah, and then Jim Sturgis, he's like way too enthusiastic. They're like, oh my gosh, it's so hot. He's like, I'll pay half my rent as soon as I get a job month. It's like way too enthusiastic. Yeah. And they look out the window and they're like, check out this view. And they just see this brick building like right in front of them. And that's supposed to be the humor of it. And then Lucy is still in her hometown and she's riding bikes with her friend. It's summer, and then they see some military dudes at the door of her boyfriend's house, and they're like, I saw that part today. Yeah, they're like, crap. Yeah. That could only mean one thing, right? And they give a flag thing to the mom, and the mom just drops.
It was his dog tags.
Yeah, his dog tag, yeah. And
we know that he's died in battle.
Right, and his mom just drops to the floor, and then the dog tags fall down. And then I actually really like this sequence. So like there's this, and then we juxtapose this with this like race riot that's going on in Detroit. And then we hear, so I mean, I really liked the music. Yeah. And I could tell what they were trying to do.
Yeah, I could tell what they were trying to do.
So the song here is Let It Be, and you hear this young voice singing it on the soundtrack. And you're kind of like, whose voice is that? You haven't heard that voice in the movie so far. And then we see, and during this race riot, we see it's this little boy, African American boy, behind this car. All these people are being shot by cops, and he's crying. And then, but on the other side, we see these cars drive up to a cemetery for the funeral, and so we see these things, and then we see it's actually a double funeral juxtaposed. Like we see their funeral on the military side, and then we see this funeral in this African American side, and then we hear like this "Let It Be." Then we hear it turn gospel. Like it turns into this gospel version, and they're in the church, and this lady's singing, and then we hear the boy's voice again, and then we see him, and he's in the casket, and like that part really sad. Yeah, and then his mother and older brother look down on him on the casket, and then Lucy is crying as the American flag is folded up by the soldiers and given to the mom. And yeah, it was a sad sequence, but I like how they did it. I thought it was really good. And that song is obviously a special song for Beatles and Paul McCartney especially. Well, because a lot of people think of it as a religious song, which is cool that it isn't. You know what I mean? Like, because he's like a lot of people, but that shows you how people interpret things in their own way. Because they're like, oh, Mother Mary, like you're obviously singing, and then like the way he did the chords, they sound so like church-like, right? Yeah. And so he said, no, he's like, that's about my mom. He's like, my mom's name is Mary, so that's why. Because he's like, she's just somebody that would be like on him all the time. And he's just like, just let it be. Well, that's the thing. So something that bonded Paul and John. I mean, they were already close, when they formed the band. But something that bonded them even more was that both of their moms died pretty young. Paul's mom was already dead by the time they met. I think she had cancer.
Oh.
And then John's mom died not that long after he reunited with her, like maybe like a year or two after that. So that kind of like strengthened their bond for a while. Like we're both like motherless at this point, and so they kind of like, that's kind of how their brotherhood kind of forged even more. But yeah, like Paul has said, oh, I had a dream one time and my mom was in the dream. He was saying like, and it was like around that time, because that song came from Let It Be, the album, and that album came out 68. So he was saying there was a lot of drama we were going through at the time. We were like, there was a lot of like business drama too that was going on. And he said that he had a dream one night and like his mom was in his dream. And she told him like, let it be. That's what she told him in the dream. She was like, he was like stressed out or whatever. And she was like, son, let it be. That's all she told him. And then he woke up and he like went to the piano and he's like, yeah. And so like,
yeah, see, don't you think that's weird? Don't you wish you knew how to play piano?
Yeah.
So that just so you could go create music and just be like,
yeah.
That's the thing that Skylar doesn't appreciate. That drives me bonkers. Or the fact that she can learn to play a song just by hearing it.
Right.
And then she'll like do a bunch of stuff. And it's just like, I mean, that is like, talent.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then when she practices like this, like she's dead.
Right.
Which I get, you're practicing, but it's like practicing can also lead you to creating.
Right.
If you just gave it a chance.
Yeah. Well, I hope she sticks with that because I remember there was a guy who I worked with at Target actually, and he was a like, slacker dude, whatever. But I remember he told me something like interesting. One time I was sitting, we were like eating lunch, and he was saying, I don't know, I think somehow music came up, and then he was saying like, yeah, he's like I know how to play like every instrument. That's what he was saying. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah. He's like, I took like piano lessons for like 10 years. So like, and then, I can play guitar, I can play bass or whatever. And he's like, I don't do anything with it. That's what he was saying. And I was like, man, like that's like,
it's like,
I mean, the fact that he has this talent.
And you don't do anything with it. It's like,
it's just like worthless. And so I don't want that to happen.
I mean, it's silly.
Yeah.
It's like silly,
Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah.
So, but that's why, when you hear the songs, like, it's exactly like his dream.
Yeah.
He says, like, when I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom.
That's exactly.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah. And so that's the thing. A lot of his songs came from dreams.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's like an even deeper genius, I guess. The fact that he has a dream. Yeah. He has a dream. He can come up with it. So even yesterday, like the melody for that.
Oh, I love yesterday.
Came in,
You're like opposite.
Like that came to him in a dream, because he had, I guess, the melody. He woke up with the melody, and he was like, nah. So he went around and he asked John, and he's like, "Have you heard this melody before?" George and Ringo, and they're like, "No, I never heard that." And then he's like, "Well, I guess it must be an original if these guys haven't heard of it." So then he wrote the lyrics to it, and then he had like placeholder lyrics, which is like a trick. Sometimes you just to get it down, you write fake lyrics that aren't going to be the final draft. So it was like bacon and eggs. It was called something like that. It was like some cheesy ass lyrics that he had. And then later on he fixed it. He changed it to Yesterday. And then that's how you have this classic song, right? So yeah, him, like a lot of them came from his dreams. But I've noticed.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. So next scene, then
So I mean, maybe you should stop at 11 and do this as a part,
a two-parter.
Series. Well, 2-part, 3-parter.
Okay.
Because we dive into other things.
Yeah, we do.
So it's like this is probably going to be like a 4-part series, because you're only in the beginning.
Yeah. And I'm trying to cut it down. I actually didn't read a lot.
They just made it to New York.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We can stop now, and then we'll
no, let's go to 11.
Okay. All right. So okay, so we see the funeral on both sides, and the little boy's older brother. So his name is JoJo. That's another. So JoJo is from Get Back, the song Get Back, because he says Get Back, JoJo. So JoJo, he's the guy.
Wow.
He's the character.
So a lot of Easter eggs.
Yeah, there's a lot. That's what I'm saying. So I feel like
do you think the writer created that or the director?
Well, she kind of was the writer. Yeah,
she was the screen. She wrote the
yeah, like she. I mean,
she put her hands on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think she co-wrote it. Like usually, even when a director doesn't physically write it, they still do some writing to it. You know, they might not get the credit for it, but they still like you have to. You know, like you know what I'm saying. Like when you're a director, you write it. You know, I mean, maybe not physically, maybe you didn't type everything out, but you kind of are the writer of it because
or putting the direction.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's like you interpret the script, so it's like you like putting everything together. I mean, and it's different, you know, like you know, like I'm really into the French New Wave and stuff like that, right? So like they had a different thing where their whole thing was like we write with the camera, like we're writers, but we write with the camera. We don't write with the pen. Like that's like how they looked at it.
So
like meaning like
improv,
kind of, yeah, like that was a big part of it, like at least with Godard, like that was a big thing, like a lot of his stuff, and that's the thing, and that's how Wong Kar-wai works too, where he like does a lot of stuff spontaneously, and he might scrap things, like for example, like the movie In the Mood for Love has gone on to get a lot of fame recently, you know, over time. Like it was, you know, enjoyed at the time, but it's gotten even more fame now. But there's a lot of outtakes of that. Like if you see the deleted scenes, it goes on for hours and stuff like that. And it was like where he could have taken the story, but he didn't. He like kind of scrapped it and made it something else. But like Godard and all those French New Wave guys would do that a lot. So, but I mean, yeah, like I'm saying, like she kind of writes it, but maybe not fully. Like, but yeah, she has a hand in it for sure. So yeah, JoJo, that's another Easter egg. And like I said, if you're a fan, it's even funner, you know, like finding all those little things. Like if you don't know anything about it, I like seeing that too as a fan, because I'm looking at the person, I'm like, they don't even know what's going on in this, you know what I mean? Like they don't know all the hidden things.
I don't know any of that.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I know the songs. That I know, and that's Jude, and that's his name, Lucy, and got it.
Like the surface stuff.
All the stuff they want you to know.
Yeah.
But all the stuff that is hidden now.
Right, yeah. Or like at the Cirque du Soleil, it was like me looking over at the other crowd members, like they don't know all these little things, you know what I mean? Like that's where I got a lot of enjoyment from it, you know. But yeah, that was just my Beatle nerdiness. Yeah.
Why they stop?
I guess it just wasn't doing well after a while. And I guess the Mirage, isn't it going to be something else? Like
the Mirage is gone, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
The Mirage is gone.
And that's where it was. So they're
but it could have gone to a different place.
Maybe they just feel like it's had a good run. The world doesn't care for the Beatles anymore.
No, I don't think. I mean, if anything, let's say in 2 years or 5 years, it's gonna come back, because everything does.
Yeah. People will be like, damn it, I want to see that Beatles show again. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But it's cyclical. Yeah. So
like the scrunchie.
Is that back?
Yeah. But was it ever gone?
No.
No. But it's definitely back.
Are you seeing it at work or
I use it? I see it all.
But did you ever stop using it?
Yes, I did stop for a little bit.
Like when it wasn't cool or whatever? Or
yeah, I mean, it's because they didn't sell it at stores, and now that it's back at stores.
They are selling it?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you see it a lot more.
But don't you find that interesting how, like, because of things are only cool because they've been gone so long? You know what I mean?
But like, to me, that's the whole thing. Like, that's the whole thing about life that you don't understand. Like, here I am getting pissed off at people because it's like, what? You don't know Tupac? Like, I was alive. You know, you weren't even alive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You weren't even alive.
Yeah.
Right? But then people are also probably saying like Elvis
Yeah.
Or the Beatles, well, what the hell do you guys know? It's like us, like, why are you so passionate about something you never lived through?
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
See, so it's like it's
a double-edged sword.
It just is going to be continuous. That's just the way it's going to be because that's the world.
Well,
that's life.
At least you can find solace in that. Skylar's going to be pissed off when she sees young whippersnappers 20 years her junior wearing Olivia Rodrigo shirts.
Well, the thing is that, because Nirvana shirts are everywhere.
Yeah.
Nirvana shirts are, and she has one, right? And she
never got into them yet, right?
Well, like I would play it, Willow and I play Nirvana and like even like we play Alice in Chains, and I told her because, I tell Skylar, I go, I named, your middle name is after because I was really into the band when I was writing. I was really into the band, and it's just like, and she's just like, oh God, she's like,
so cringe.
Yeah, and then it's like, so she stopped wearing that T-shirt at school because I guess, well, a while ago, like when she was in sixth grade.
Did she get the name 3 songs thing?
Well, I know this kid, this boy in her like classes would be like you like him too, like, oh, what name, name some of their songs and stuff, and she'd just be like, shut up. But it's actually pretty funny when she tells me the story, and she's pissed. She was pissed off,
right?
And I'm just like, Skylar, but I mean, he has a point. So she had to stop wearing it.
She got shamed out of wearing.
But I mean, as she should be.
Yeah. Can't pose.
Yeah. It's like, but I mean, if she could say, my parents are like this. Yeah. My parents are Gen Xers. In fact, my parents are probably older than your parents for sure.
Yeah.
To be honest, because we had Skylar pretty old.
Right.
So it's
her parents are probably they're probably my age. Right?
Exactly. They're probably millennials, and we're Gen Xers. So it's like even that's totally different,
Right. It's funny.
Yeah.
So JoJo, he was like, okay, my little brother's gone. I need to move on with my life. I need to pursue my dreams because life could be short. He takes the Greyhound and he goes to New York, and he has a guitar case in hand, and we hear "Come Together" on the soundtrack. And there's a guy singing that. Did you realize who that guy was?
No.
So that guy is Joe Cocker. He's actually the Joe Cocker who does the Beatles, the cover, the Wonder Years cover. Yeah. And yeah. I know, it's weird.
Wait, so
he plays 3 different characters. He plays like a hobo, he plays a pimp, like a Puerto Rican pimp.
He's that guy too.
Yeah, he plays all 3 of them. Yeah, he plays an old hippie, he plays like this Puerto Rican pimp, and he plays like some other guy.
The thing is that he just looks so bad during that.
Yeah,
like
he does.
Right? Like
he's like the Cheech of this movie.
But I mean, Joe Cocker is pretty cool. But
did you like?
But now that he did this, now that I know that he actually now, I don't feel like he's as cool. To be honest,
he lost points for you.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit.
He always had that. He was always like moving his hands all weird and stuff. Like, it's like his thing.
But I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah.
And he did that "Officer and a Gentleman" song.
So. Yeah, I was gonna say something
about Joe Cocker.
I think I was, but it's too late now. Sorry.
So Come Together, and talking about JoJo.
Oh, he was one of my favorite characters, actually.
JoJo.
Yeah, I thought he was like the most like an actual real person.
Right.
He wasn't like too hyped.
Yeah. He wasn't
over
exaggerated. Yeah. He was normal.
He was just,
right?
Just like a guy trying to make it.
Yeah. Trying to keep it
real. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll stop there.
That's a good stopping point.
Yeah, it is a good stopping point. Thanks for joining me today.
You're welcome.
It gets very long-winded.
Yeah, I mean, but I like delving in deep, and we can actually like explore some other things and talk about.
It's hard to just cram things into an hour, like especially with the Beatles. You gotta like,
and plus, really, like the Beatles really do have a huge history.
Yeah, exactly. So, so this is gonna be a lengthy series.
Yeah. Well, maybe 3 parts.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
2 parts
Me,
is good.
me and Aileen did
Yeah,
Babylon
and
in
stuff.
3 parts. Yeah.
Oh my God, Babylon. Like Willa saw that, and then I saw like some of it, and I was like, wow.
Great movie.
Willa really liked it.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, listen to our Babylon podcast too.
Oh, maybe we can do another, a different, just about Margot Robbie, because I really love her. I think
Okay.
she's a great actress. She's probably like my favorite actress. She's super talented.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll stop right there though.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Denyse.
Good. You're welcome.
We'll
Thank
see you
you.
next time. Briterion. Peace out. Bye.